Today we're going to continue off of the lesson that we did previous to this with solving for specified variables. So we're going to actually be plugging things into these problems and solving for certain things using formulas. So the first one, it says, how long would it take to drive 500 miles at 25 miles per hour? So it gives us a hint here. It gives us the formula D equals RT. D stands for distance, R stands for right, and T stands for time. So all we have to do is plug in. So it tells us we drive 500 miles. So that would be our distance. So 500 equals 25 miles per hour. So that would mean rate. So what we're solving for here is T. And then I just need to solve. So I need to divide both sides by 25. So 500 divided by 25 equals 20. Okay, the most important thing here is that we are doing story problems, so our answers need to be labeled. So we look back up to the problem, it says 25 miles per hour, so hour would be our measure of time. So that means in my answer it needs to be 20 hours. So it would take 20 hours to drive 500 miles at 25 miles per hour. Okay, next one, it says the circumference of a circle is 480 pi. What is the radius? The circumference of a circle. So it tells us circumference is 480 pi, so I need to plug into the formula. So C stands for circumference, so I'm going to type 480 pi, and then I'm just going to write the rest of the formula, 2 pi r. So we're solving for the radius, so that's what I need to get by itself. So the 2, the pi, and the r are all attached by multiplication. So in order to undo multiplying, I need to divide. So 2 pi. So those are crossed off. I'm just left with r, which is the radius. Now I need to simplify. So I know since I have a pi on top and a pi on the bottom, I can cross those out. So those are gone, and all I'm left with is 480 divided by 2, which is 240. And then we look back up at the problem and see they don't really give a unit of measurement, so I just write 240 units. If it said centimeters or meters or inches or something like that, I would need to label it with that, but it doesn't give us any form of measurement, so we use the word units. Okay, next example. As of 2009, the highest temperature ever recorded was in Chicago was 40 degrees Celsius. Find the corresponding Fahrenheit temperature. So I need to plug in. 40 stands for Celsius, so I'm going to write 40 equals 5 over 9 times F minus 32. Solving for Fahrenheit, so the F needs to be circled. And I just need to start solving. So the 5/9 is attached to the parentheses by multiplication. So naturally we would want to divide by 5/9. That's a little bit confusing, and a lot of times we plug it into the calculator wrong. So instead of dividing by a fraction, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by 9/5 on both sides. So those cancel. I'm left with F minus 32. And then in the calculator, do 40 times 9, which is 360. And then divided by 5, which is 72. And then I need to finish solving. So in order to move the 32 over to the other side, I'm going to add. So 72 plus 32 is 104. And this is a degrees problem, so my answer needs to have the degree symbol. So 40 degrees Celsius is the same as 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So your homework for this section is going to be numbers 20 through 28. It's a picture from the book. And this slide has some hints about what formulas you should be using then. So you're going to want to have this up or write it down for when you're working on your homework.